Hi, I'm Rob Carson, host of the Blue Team Warrior podcast, and today I have the very special pleasure of introducing Mr. Mark Schecter. Mark, thanks for coming.
Uh, Thanks for having me, Rob. It's great to be here.
Awesome. So, you know the game, three questions. First one is, who are you and what do you do?
So I'm Mark Schecter. I'm a vice president of infrastructure and security at Foresighted. We are an incubator accelerator platform responsible for building SaaS solutions for businesses.
Awesome. Cool. So, why don't you tell me a cool Blue Team Warrior story?
So yeah, I think probably the coolest kind of story that I would say I have related to our work here at Foresighted is I came on, I was the first employee, and my responsibility is kind of general IT infrastructure, security, and DevOps. And one of the really most rewarding things about it was I was able to, as the first employee, able to implement a lot of controls up front. So in a lot of organizations, and I've seen throughout my career, you walk in and there's just so many things that need to be done, and they often end up being disruptive, require a lot of cooperation and coordination across the business. But in our case, things like mobile device management, for instance, whether it comes to phones or laptops, I knew that would be an issue rolling it out once you have any number of employees realistically. So started things like that right out of the gate. And it just, from then on out, every person we hired was able to have managed devices. We didn't have to send large broadcasts to the larger organization to prepare for the rollout of something like mobile device management, or coordinate with them, help them troubleshoot, so on and so forth. They're able to take people as they came into the organization, get them set up, and it was no problem. Same thing applies to different monitoring, alerting policies. It helped us a lot across the board. It saved us a lot of money, time, and implementation headaches, really, in getting a lot of those things set up front.
I echo that. For those of you, Mark told me I'm allowed to say this because I usually don't tell people who my customers are, but we do work with Mark, and I can tell you, I can attest to the fact that, like, not only did he save himself a ton of money, because like he started it so small that like it's not like there's that many meetings to go to. It's like, we don't have to have this debate. Let's just roll out MDM. We don't have to spend 5 hours on a strategy planning session. Like his ability to do that, like, is a testament to like the culture that he's created on the beginning. Like it's one of those, like, it's all everyone joins net new. This is how it is. Like, and like stuff he did, like I've seen customers or companies far larger than his that are not as mature in that space. Nice part is that gives him the ability to actually focus on more tailored threats to his environment, which is pretty cool. So hey, Mark, thanks for sharing that. Like that's actually like, and I gotta tell you, like, I think you're one of the very few customers I've ever had, if not the only, who really, like, employee one started it right. Like that's like this guy should get a Blue Team Warrior of the Year, like, for just like making it happen on day one. It's brilliant.
I appreciate it, Rob.
No, I'm serious, man. Like it's pretty impressive. Like it just gets harder, the bigger you get, because you got things going on, right? And like, but now you can actually shift from a known good point. But cool. Well, hey, anything else you want to add? If not, we can do some shout outs and just wrap this up.
No, not necessarily. I think, yeah, that's pretty much all I'd have to add, unless you have additional questions for me.
I guess, like, of O365's technologies, which one did you find the easiest to implement? Like from a, like, MDM, Intune kind of thing, or Windows Defender, or 2auth? Like, which thing was the easiest to put in, and which thing is kind of like that saw in a Swiss Army knife that you're like, it's a saw, but I hope I don't have to use this for long?
Yeah, that's a good question. The duality of a lot of the Microsoft 365 tooling is a lot of it's extremely feature rich, which is great because you have lots of opportunities to configure things the way you want them, the way they should be, whatever is compliant. But of course, the other side of that is there's a lot of buttons to press, a lot of switches to flip. As far as the easiest and the most difficult, I think a lot of the security monitoring is nice and helpful. And once you've gotten past the implementation, which requires some level of prior knowledge and pre-configuration in many cases, you're just kind of off to the races. So once you've gone through the difficult part of setting up the initial Windows Defender environment or Microsoft 365 Cloud Protection or Defender, I think they're calling it this week. Once you get past that initial setup, all of your stuff is in there, and it gives you a lot to view through a single pane of glass, which is a very helpful tool.
Very cool. Very cool. And no one's hating on Microsoft. It's just like, I swear you all move that button while I'm in the damn system. Like wherever it was, just keep it there for like a week. It'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Anybody want to give a shout out to? I was not prepared for that question.
I'd like to thank your mom, mentors, your boss,
Yeah, well,
all redheaded dudes, like whoever it is, like whatever you want to thank.
red bearded dudes.
Bearded dudes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
no, I'd like to thank everyone in my organization who put me in a position to be to have the opportunity, to set things up in this way, which I think was really very unique, and most security practitioners don't often get to see. I'd like to thank all them, of course, my mom, my family, my wife, all of them, of course. But in the security business space, I probably thank the good folks that I'm working with at Foresighted for putting security first, and a lot of the tooling infrastructure processes first in order to accelerate the business and ensure minimal friction once we really started to take off as far as hiring and actually doing things as a business.
It takes a village to have a security program. How about that, Oprah? All right. That's it. Well, we're going to end for the day. Have a great time. Talk to you later.
Thank you very much, Rob.